Good afternoon and welcome to the afternoon session of today's FPP program. Our speaker for this afternoon session is Dr. B.K. Manjunath. He is the convener of this program, which is sponsored by AICTE and organized by the Department of Biotechnology, Oxford College of Engineering. He is the head professor and head of the Department of Biotechnology. He is also the Dean Research of Oxford Engineering College. So today's session will be dealt by him. Sir, on behalf of the staff, student and the management of the Oxford College of Engineering, I take it a privilege to welcome you to be our speaker for this session. So welcome to this session, sir. I now request you to kindly take over the session.
Okay, good afternoon, dear participants. Welcome to the Faculty Development Program Phase 2. Today, we will discuss about the aim and objective of our Faculty Development Program. We aimed at inviting you people to create an awareness about the various entrepreneurship opportunities available in and around us, and funding opportunities available for both students as well as faculties. The prime motto here is to introduce you people to the various aspects of technologies that is available with us, and the funding opportunities available in government sectors. With that motto in mind, today I'll be introducing you to the different technologies available in government institutions, because when we talk about the entrepreneurship opportunities, the main and the first criteria that comes in our mind is the product. Okay, many times we may not be in the position to develop a product, but our zeal to become entrepreneur will be alive in us. As a faculty members, we should motivate the students to become an entrepreneur. But unfortunately, many of the time, what happens, we'll not be having sufficient technology to launch them as an entrepreneur. Under such condition, a startup or a booster dose is required for our students to take their wheel on the entrepreneurship cart. So to achieve that, we have several opportunities. Like you need not to have a product in your hand, but you can get the product from the government organization. There are several government organizations which develop the product, right, and which sell it as a form of a license. So you can avail this license and you can start your own company and you can start marketing this product under your brand name. Once you click the product in the market, then slowly you can start your own product, and you can build your entrepreneurship. So with keeping that in mind, and to make you aware about the various funding opportunities available with government agencies, I will be introducing you to a few schemes which exclusively deals on entrepreneurship programs, and a few technologies available with the government agencies, okay, to start your entrepreneurship, right? So with that motto, we are running the phase 2 session of our faculty development program. See, as a faculty members in higher education, it is our prime responsibility to respond the various schemes put forward by the government. So the government of India is now aiming at Startup India, Stand Up India, and Venture India. So as a faculty members in higher education, it becomes a responsibility on us to motivate our students to take up the task of entrepreneurship. And With the implementation of new education policy, it becomes very important for all the faculty members to find some information or to upgrade knowledge on the entrepreneurship program. So the most important trend is that education institutions in India are beginning to play a vital role in developing entrepreneurial competencies and include entrepreneurship as a core course in business education. Now, the trend has changed. Earlier days, the faculty who teaches in the classroom, okay, will be considered as an ideal teacher. But now that is not the case. The faculty will be recognized based on his ability to motivate the students to take up the courses beyond the syllabus or activities beyond the syllabus. As a faculty members in higher education, it becomes very essential for us to guide our students towards this startup process. So faculty associate, you can have your own startup also. It is called faculty associated startup. Okay. It is defined as a company where the original intellectual property originates with the faculty, where the faculty is founder and has a significant equity position in the company, and often has an influential role in determining the direction of the company. Many a times being faculty will not be in the position to run a full-time company. Because it demands your 24 hours concentration to make a company stand up in the market. So it is very difficult for us because our task is not to motivate one student but a group of students. So under such condition, as a faculty members, we may innovate the things, we may develop the product, but we may not be in the position to launch the product in the market successfully. So under such condition, you can identify a group of students who are working with you, or you can select the students who can work with you, and you can take their help in developing a product. And once the product is developed, so you can keep them in an entrepreneurship sector. So under such condition, in case if the innovation is exclusively under your guidance and your idea and under your financial assistance, then you will be the owner of that company or you will be the managing director of that company. So there is a provision. NEP, a new education policy, has made it, of course, almost mandatory to have startups in each and every higher education institute. Further, they are launching various schemes. Okay, incubation centers they are launching, then venture capitalist platforms they are launching, then angel financing they are launching. So many schemes are coming forward to make the higher education institute as a platform for incubating such ideas. So you can have a complete grip on your innovation by patenting it and opening a company wherein you can be a founder in that, and you can involve your students as a partner in your company. So by doing that, you can avail various schemes, various subsidies, various projects under this startup sector. So the entrepreneurial spirit at the university level is willing and eager. And of course, in forthcoming days, it becomes inevitable for each and every faculty to become an entrepreneur. Nearly 90% of young people believe that entrepreneurship education is important. According to the Young Entrepreneur Council, and with the advent of the internet, free access to the resources and lowered barriers to entry, students can now start companies with minimal capital. So earlier days, capital used to be a major problem for any of the people who wants to become entrepreneurs. But now that is not the case. People are there who can fund your ideas to any extent. Capital investment is not at all a problem in present sector. Without any money, with zero money, but with full of ideas in your mind, you can become an entrepreneur. So there is no girth for capital, and there is no limitation for your financial crunch. So you can encash all these schemes. Venture capitalists are there, pitching sessions are there, and especially in IITs and other universities, alumni are playing a very significant role here. So they are making their own consortium, like Biotech Consortium, and they will be calling the pitching sessions. As a senior students, as a final year students, or as a any sector student need not to be in the final year, you can prepare a good concept which is running in your mind, and you can present in this platform in case if it is worth, right? They will take up this for incubation. So this alumni have their own method of providing financial assistance for your ideas. So if you have ideas, there is no limitation for funding. There is no limitation. There is no problem for incubating it. There is no problem for facilities. There is no problem for mentoring, right? Only the thing is you should have a perfect idea which is encashable, which has societal relevance, which is marketable. If you have that, it is more than sufficient to become an entrepreneur. So it is, as a faculty members, it is important for us to motivate the students to develop such kind of idea. So how to motivate them? Provide the platform. Ask them to read the articles. Ask them to do the literature surveys. Ask them to interact with the people who are into the incubation. Ask them to bring a bridge between the academia and industries, right? For example, in case if you are residing in Bangalore, we have so many industries. So you can bring them to the campus and you can make them to interact. Bangalore Bio Innovation Center is there where you can go and you can make use of all the incubation or the facilities available with them. Only the problem is you should have a good commercially viable ideas. EduTech startups are changing the education world. Nowadays, EduTech startups are the talk of the town with their major hands in fields ranging from medicine to gaming, to healthcare and education. In the last few years, especially after the pandemic, the EduTech area is shaping up to be quite exciting with new EduTech startups banging every few months. So it's a right thing for you people to encash this opportunity. So with this backdrop, let us see how to become an entrepreneur, how to start our own company. To start with, imagine that you don't have any product in your hand, but still the dream of you to become an entrepreneur can be brought into a reality, okay, by following these slides. So there are several CSIR institutes in India, across the India, which is DST funded, and they develop the product, right? They develop the product and they will be having a list of such available product in the websites, right? So first let us have a look into the website of CSIR Lucknow. You can visit CSIR CMAP Lucknow website and you will find the details of all the things that I am going to tell you now. So first, imagine that you want to become or you want to venture into the business, right, by with a minimum investment. Fine, doesn't matter. But unfortunately, your desire to become an entrepreneur is very much, but unfortunately, you don't have product, you don't have a good investment in your hand. Doesn't matter. You can approach CSIR Lucknow and they will help you in taking a product. So one such product is Cracked Mill. So this is a product which is developed at CSIR CMAP Lucknow, which is available for leasing, right? They have patented it, right? And they have standardized all the protocols. They will tell you how to produce it in case if you don't have any facility to produce it, doesn't matter. You can go and write or fill an application form wherein you can say this much of product is required for you. Only you have to take the brand name, in which brand name you want to sell this product, and the other registration details of your company. The rest of the things, starting from procuring the raw material, preparing the product, okay, even if you don't have product stickers, they will help you in designing the stickers also. And in packaging, you need not worry about the packaging. Everything ready to sell, great, they will make and they will give it to you. Okay, and of course at the cost, with minimum cost. They will charge you, say for example, crack mill, it will cost you about 400 to 450 rupees to make 1 kilogram of crack mill. All raw materials, standardized raw materials they will be using, and all the standardized process and all approvals, okay, required to release the product is done by CSIR CMAP. You need not to worry about anything of this. For 1 year, they will manufacture the product and give it to you. You can sell and you can check the vulnerability of this product in the market. Once you develop the confidence, stating that yes, there is a revenue in this product, I can take up the task of manufacturing this product in my own unit, and I can increase and expand my sales, then you can approach them for the license leasing. So for that, they have their own methodology and the formalities. Just you have to write the application, fill the application form, and they starting from installation, mentoring, identifying the resources where you can procure raw material, standardized raw material, and the marketing network. Everything will be mentored by the CSRC, CMAP, Lucknow people. The only thing is you should make your mind to become entrepreneurs. So this formulation is having a good antifungal activity against commonly occurring fungal pathogen, provides all-round protection to dull and rough skin and curved severe cracks also. Unique blend of the herbal extract with natural essential oil. Formulation is non-toxic, safe to use with no side effects. All these certification will be provided by CSIR CMAP. You need not to worry about any certification. Okay, and in spite of this, you can have your own brand name. This is the crack nail named kept by CSIR CMAP. You need not to sell this product under this name. You can have your own name. The advantage of collaborating with CSIR CMAP is that you can say that this product is manufactured and certified by CSIR CMAP. That name itself, the government logo and CSIR CMAP logo itself will give a value addition to your product, right? Then similarly, you have several such products. Myconil is one such another product, which is a broad spectrum antifungal cream, unique blend of the herbal extract with natural essential oil. Formulation is non-toxic, safe to use with no side effect. Okay, and cost of production is 150 to 200 per kg. So bottling unit will be done by them. Labeling, only label you have to design, and of course you can use the CSIR CMAP logo, and you can have your firm name, and you can have all your firm detail under it, and you can have your own brand name also. So they will help you. I mean, they will, once you fill the form, complete know-how of the product is transferred to you. The method of raw material procurement. So they will give you the network of raw material vendors, certified raw material vendors network they will give you, and they will assist you in raw material processing and hands-on training. 2 to 3 months hands-on training they will give you, okay, how to manufacture this product. Then fingerprints of the plants are the ingredient that used they will give you, so that whenever you procure the raw material from the vendors, you can use this fingerprint technology, and you can, fingerprint method, and you can identify whether the supplier is supplying the exact specified raw material or the medicine plants or not. So you can easily identify the adult trends which the supplier generally makes with the raw material. So efficacy and safety data, this also they will transfer, and the list of supplier of the raw material. So along with this package, they will help you in establishing your own product, right? Geranium active, this is another product, a combination of pure aromatic molecules with essential oil and with antifungal activity. Unique blend of the herbal extract with natural essential oil, shampoo, and it removes the fungal infection, that is generally dandruff and other kind of ailment. Formulation is non-toxic, safe to use, and total cost is about 200 to 250 rupees per liter. So you may have to pay 200 to 250 rupees for producing 1 liter of this product. After that, it is at your wish and will to convert it into sachets or into a bottle of 50, 100, 200, 300, 500 or 1 liter bottles, right? So you can make use of this and you can start your own company. Then this is another insect repellent preparation that is developed by again CSIR CMAP. It is effectively repels household insects, contains essential oil, light liquid paraffin as a base. Formulation is again non-toxic. It will cost you 1,100 to 1,200 rupees per liter. And another we have brand spectrum antimicrobial liquid. So hand sanitizer, you can use it as contain herbal bioactive component, formulation non-toxic and is safe to use. So why I am introducing this antifungal and antibacterial and insect repellent product to you is that so there is a huge demand for such product in the market. Unfortunately, many of the firms are selling this kind of product with synthetic chemical mixture, okay, at very high cost. See, in the previous slide, you would have seen the production cost is hardly any 200 or 300 rupees, and you can make a very good profit out of your venture. So next is same pain relieving balm. All these are herbal based product, right? And this pain relieving balm, they call it as pain chew, pain relieving herbal formulation. The production cost is around 800 to 900 rupees per kg. And whatever the pain relieving bottles that we get, it contains hardly 20 or 30 grams. And that for that, they will charge you around 60 to 80 rupees. So there is 60 to 80 rupees per 30 gram and there is 900 rupees per kg, kilogram of your product. So your revenue is guaranteed with the product of this kind. Only thing is how you launch your product, how you market your product, or how you reach the customer. That matters a lot here because the quality wise it is assured, safety wise it is established, right? And efficacy wise it is assured. So what is required? The required thing is reaching the customers and developing a logo of your own company and giving a good title or name to your product. If you can do that, okay, and you can become an entrepreneur without much risk in it, right? And total muscular or insect repellent, it will cost you about 2 rupees per piece, right? So, and personal hygiene, which is very, very important nowadays because of the pandemic situation. So here we have several products of this kind which will boost your immune system also, okay? And we have Amla, Draksha, Punarnava, Sahajana, Ashwagandha, Bhala, then Muleti, Satavari, Guduchi, Bhende and Arjun plant extract added commodities which will be functioning as a churnas. So you need not to worry about how to identify this Amla, how to get this Punarnava, how to get this Ashwagandha, how to process it. No, you need not to worry about all those things. Only thing is take 350 or 400 rupees to the CSS CMAP and get 1 kg of product, then distribute it to different capacity bottles and have your label, okay? Then start marketing this product, right? Because here DAN technology marketing strategy is very, very important because once you are recognized in the market, once your firm or the company which is registered is recognized in the market, then it starts building its rapport. It starts building its name or brand in the market. After that, releasing your own product will become very easy because as of now, you are supplying very good, efficient and customer acceptable product. So quite naturally, adding your own innovative product into the list of your company product will become very, very easy, right? So here, Amla and Bale with Bindur, this will cost you around, it's a kind of, replacement to the Chyawanprash kind of thing. That will cost you 200 to 250 rupees per kg. Then you can sell it at the cost of your own decision. Then this another product, it contains natural plant sap to protect the moisture and make the skin soft. So moisturizer, skin moisturizer. Unique blend of the herbal extract with natural essential oil makes feel you fresh with shine on the face after use. Formulation is non-toxic. Again, all these things are guaranteed by the CSR laboratories. Then, apart from aromatic plants, now if you get into the horticulture crops, so we have a lot of opportunities. If you take banana as an example, okay, there is no place in the world where you don't get the bananas, and especially in and around Karnataka and in and around South India, you will get very good yield for banana plantation. And banana plants are available at very less cost in case if you negotiate with the farmers directly. So why I'm telling all this data is that there is a product. Okay, so you might have seen banana, but you might have not seen the banana juice. Forget about the milkshake that you get in the market. It is a different product, right? So banana is this is the very good, nutritionally rich, right? Banana juice that is still awaiting in the market. So you can take up this and you can launch the product with a very minimum cost. See, cost of this technology will be very less, right? They will give you know-how process. They will give you the instrument. Of course, for this they may charge you extra, but they will supply you the instrument also. This instrument will help you in extracting the banana juice. It is almost the yield is up to 55%. Okay, so the moisture content of the banana is abound form as an against that is many other fruits like apples and citrus fruits. The bark process achieves separation and extraction of the juice, okay, through a series of operations like blending, churning, autoclaving, and centrifuging. You need not to worry about all these things. They will help you in establishing all these processes, and they claim that okay, up to 55% weight by volume yield is obtained without addition of any enzymes, right? And can be stored up to 3 months inside a cold storage at a temperature below 4 degrees centigrade without adding any preservative. So you can use all these added features for advertising your product. And this is one unique technology developed by Baba Atomic Research Center, that is BARC, and it is available for leasing at BARC. Okay, here they don't give you the facilities that CSIR CMAP is giving. Only thing is you have to purchase the take the license, and they will mentor you in production process, right? And similarly, we have another product, which is you might have seen the turmeric growing in South India to a very larger extent, right? So it's a value addition to the turmeric. So here, this Turbovita is one product developed using the turmeric as a main raw material, right? And this technology is available at the cost of 3 lakh rupees. Okay, just by paying 3 lakh rupees, entire know-how technology will be shared to you. You can produce the product and you can sell the product at your own brand name. For further detail, you can talk or you can write to the Technology Transfer and Collaboration Division, Baba Atomic Research Center, Bombay, Mumbai. This is you can go to the website and you will get the complete technical description and product description, right, and everything, right. So here is another major technology, of course, available at the BARC only. So here you can, as a biotechnologist, you can think of providing a value addition to the biological sludge developed in various industries. So here they have isolated and standardized the protocol for phosphate solubilizing process. So they are using a unique strain, okay, phosphate solubilizing bacteria. So by purchasing this technology, okay, you will be signing one agreement with the BARC, and they will hand over the complete know-how technology of this phosphate solubilizing bacteria. So that using industrial sludge, you can convert that into a new phosphate fertilizer, right? Complete technology will be given to you. So phosphatic fertilizer from biosludge obtained from distillery waste was developed and the process was patented. Of course, it's a patented process. So phosphatic fertilizer are of great demand during the recent times, and the demand is increasing steadily. And BARC has developed a process for development of phosphorus fertilizer formulation from biosludge. So you can use any biosludge. It need not be a sugarcane industry. It can be any other sludge. So process is available for sale in the BARC. And this is another technology available at BARC, a purely organic seed dressing biofungicide formulation. Okay, so you will be given complete procedure along with the strain and the know-how technology by receiving or by paying 2,32,000 rupees. So it's a non-toxic biopesticide, a biofungicide, which will protect your seed from any seed-borne diseases. So you can produce this and you can sell at your own brand name, and you can educate the farmers to use this biofungicide before sowing the seeds in the field, so that most of the fungal diseases that the seed-borne or seeds carries can be deactivated. The next technology is rapid composting technology. This is very important technology and useful, and those who wants to get into the entrepreneurship. I think this is the best technology, because the cost is only 25,000 rupees. So I will give you the complete technology. So what you can do, you can go and approach the BBMPs or any other municipal people who maintains the park and other social forestry area, where processing of dried leaves is a big headache for them. That is one example. And processing of market waste is another serious problem in any major cities, because a huge amount of this bio waste will be dumped into the market yard, which will create a nuisance for the traffic as well as the buyer and sellers also. So you can procure this raw material at very nominal cost, or in some cases no cost also, and you can, using this technology, you can convert them into a very good fertilizer at very low cost. It's only 25,000 rupees, right? So you can have small unit at each ward. By discussing or by dealing with the municipal ward people or councillors, you can take the councillors' help, and you can establish individual units in each ward, and whatever the dry leaf matter that they develop, okay, that can be dumped in one place. Okay, don't get into the kitchen waste, because that will lead to problem. You can take only the dried leaves, and you can develop good manure, and you can start selling it. So you are providing solution for disposal of dried leaves, and you are generating value from this waste. So that will become a value addition to the dried leaves. So later on, gradually, you can establish your own farm in developing various other products. So this can be a starter for your entrepreneurship activity, because at 25,000 rupees cost, you can, and other infrastructure is required for this. So you can easily start your entrepreneurship by purchasing this technology and converting the dried leaves and other available dried organic matter into a good manure. Then a biodegradable films for food packaging and application. So this is another product available with BARC, because there is a huge demand for this food packaging papers, right? It should be biodegradable. So it can be easily prepared using locally available raw material, have comparable mechanical and the barrier properties with commercially available stretch wrap films, completely biodegradable, no specific environment is required for degradation. Concentration of additives can be altered to the tailored film properties depending on how much tensile strength you need to have. So concentration of additives can be altered, and films are stable under radiation processing up to a dose of 25 grays. Then it is non-toxic, non-hazardous. The cost of the developed film is comparable with the commercial polymers. So by paying 1,50,000 rupees, you can lease out this technology, and you will get mentoring from the BARC. So for establishing the product, or for establish the unit of manufacturing, they will mentor you. They will help you in developing this technology until the release of the product to the market, right? Then, in case if you are of agriculture based person, then you can start biopesticide production. Okay, so here is the technology which is based on Bacillus thuringiensis. So it costs you 1,50,000 rupees. Again, entire technology will be leased to you, so you can take this. Indiscriminate use of chemical insecticide, you know what is the drawback of this, and you can sell it under organic in promoting organic agriculture process, and it's a natural pesticide which is which will not affect adversely on the natural enemies of the insect pest and give rise to many pesticide resistant insect species. It is eco-friendly and and it's an eco-friendly approaches for pest management. Okay, and this is based on Bacillus thuringiensis. Okay, which is all of you may be aware of this BP carton. Same organism is used in that. So these advantages quoted by Bark includes it is a fast acting, easy to produce at lower cost, amenable to formulation, non-toxic to beneficial insect like honeybees and human, and has very long shelf life. Active against 12 different agriculturally important insect species. Formulation is stable up to 2 years. Okay, non-toxic, non-target species, and beneficial insects. Safe to human and mammals. All these safety profile data will be shared to you along with agreement, and you need not to worry about, or you need not to work on establishing the safety profile, right? That is one advantage. So it's environment friendly because it's organism based, safe for handling by agriculture workers and farmers. All this safety data is established. So vegetable powder formulation is available and it can be used for spraying purpose. Okay. So it can be applied using general knapsack sprayers, which is available at any farmer outlet. So this technology will cost you around 1,50,000 rupees, right? Then we have a vegetable-based technology. It's called de-bittered bitter ground juice with a high anti-diabetic activity. All essential efficacy, okay, toxicity, bioavailability, right? And then processing procedure, everything is optimized, established, and certified, right? So you can take this technology at the cost of 1 lakh rupees. It can be easily prepared using locally available raw material, as clear appearance and completely de-bittered. That is one of important process. Okay, because most of the bitter gourd drink are bitter in nature, so that is why it has very less customer acceptance. So this technology will give you bitter-free bitter gourd extract. Has distinctly better physiological properties such as alpha glucosidase and alpha amylase inhibition as compared to commercially available product. This efficacy is established in the certified laboratories of Baba Atomic Research Center. So that is the advantage that people are having. So can be used as an alternative for management of diabetes and obesity. So by paying 1 lakh rupees, you will get the technology and you can start preparing your own company labeled de-bittered bitter gourd exclusively for managing diabetes and obesity. These two are the major diseases that fetches good marketing potential. So here is another very interesting product or the technology, again available with Bark. In case if you are from my Malnad region, you might have seen this fruit, jamun fruit, growing very wild in the roadside trees, and nobody will process it or nobody will collect and utilize it. So of course it is seasonal, but during season you will get it in a very good quantity. So this technology is a delicious and preservative free shelf stable natural jamun product. So these flakes, okay, are available. The technology to make these flakes using jamun fruit is available at the cost of 21,000 rupees. Especially the people residing in places where jamun fruit is grown as a wild plant. It is ideal, especially for students, of course, for other people as well. So the proposed technology deals with development of shelf-stable, dehydrated, preservative-free jamun product, jamun strips, they call it as, prepared from jamun fruit. And this product is not available in the market at a easy price. If you encash this, it will become a successful product. Of course, you can give different shapes to this, you can add different things to it, and you can make this more vulnerable in the market. So it's a fruit-based dietary product which is chewy, then flavorful, naturally low in fat and high in fiber and carbohydrate. The shelf life of the product is 5 months under ambient storage condition in packaged form. This you can increase, no issue in it. The uniqueness of this product lies in the fact that it is completely natural, preservative free, and also has potential to ensure its availability in processed form beyond the season across domestic and international markets. If you produce it and if you give a good shape to it, so you can export it. The developed technology provides a promising solution to the post-harvest losses of jamun fruits and could provide benefits to all the stakeholders, including farmers, entrepreneurs involved in jamun trade. Advantage of this product includes the developed product is 100% natural, chemical preservative free, no external sugar and artificial flavoring substances added. It is easily chewable, has a consistent organoleptic attributes over the storage period. It is hygienic and rich in minerals and dietary fibers. It is convenient dietary product that is liked by people of all age groups. Okay. So how they make this, they don't reveal. How they make it preservative free, they don't reveal unless you pay 21,000 rupees and get the license for this technology. I think this is one lucrative entrepreneurship opportunity which you people can go back to your institute and you can address your students to take up. Or if you are interested, you can have your own startup in your own institute, okay, by procuring these small 20 or 25, 50,000 rupees costing technologies. So another one is ready to serve fish soup mixture. So this is another important product developed by again the bark. So you have all the dietary beneficiaries that the fish eaters will get, and this is highly, again, it is preservative free, nutrient rich, okay, suitable for domestic and market as well as for export, and easy to store. Okay, so this technology is available at a cost of 68,000 rupees. The people who are residing in coastal region can make use of this technology. So it is convenience food and can serve as a eat and serve food product. Okay, and instantly you can prepare the soup and you can serve it. Useful during natural disaster management. Useful for other target groups like defense personnel. It is exclusively developed for them. But now the technology is available for public also. You can venture into this bio business, taking the license of this technology. So next is the micro fine neem biopesticide. Okay, of course, neem plant, all of you are aware of it, and it is available in good quantity also. The people who are residing in plain regions or dry regions can make use of this. Salient features includes all the goodness of neem is available to the crops. The formulation particle create a sustained release effect since the ingredients are gradually released and long-term protection from insects is achieved. Insecticidal effect is stronger as degradation of active compounds due to moisture, pH and light is reduced. The product is economical and efficient. The use of other Ayurvedic herbs in microfine powder adds to the effectiveness of the product. In case if you want to add any other medicinal plants, you can powder it and you can mix it. Can be used as a biopesticide to control insect pests under field condition, especially useful for organic farming as no chemicals are added to the formulation. Can be further improved for synergetic effect with other biopesticides. This technology is available at a cost of 40,000 rupees. So you might have heard about the drawback of eating regular wheat, because the people say that since it contains gluten, continuous utilization of the wheat is not that good to the body. So for that gluten-free multigrain premix is developed. So Bark has developed a gluten-free premix by combining various multigrain flours and radiation processed dietary fibers. Multigrains are judicially selected not only for better nutrition qualities, but also for bringing the price low with increasing scientific evidence. Demand for multigrain and high fiber food item is growing exponentially. The multigrain used in the developed premix is not only limited for special dietary purpose, but also for healthy individuals. Moreover, addition of RP dietary, okay, fibers not only improve total soluble fiber content, but also sensory characteristics of the final product. Okay. So it's a low cost in price compared to the other available brands. Sensorial properties are closer to wheat chapatis as compared to the one prepared from already available commercial brand. So protein content 12.9% of the premix is similar to that of generally available wheat flour in the market. Can be consumed by diabetic patients and other patients and healthy individuals as well as. So this technology is available at 32,000 rupees. Of course, only technology that transfer, the rest of the raw materials you have to procure. It is not the production cost, it is the technology cost. So then we have mushroom soup. So ready to serve, ready to make mushroom powder, okay, soup powder. So this is Arca iron fortified mushroom, rich source of iron with high bioavailability. Powder can be used to make Arca rasam powder to mitigate iron deficiency, right? So it is a production of iron fortified with oyster mushroom. The iron content of the iron fortified mushroom has increased from 135.6 ppm in non-fortified mushroom to 338.15 ppm in iron fortified mushroom, which is an increase of 149%. The bioavailability of iron from iron fortified mushroom is 21%, which is very high as compared to the iron bioavailability from any other plant sources. Well, so this technology is available at IHR. You can approach them for the purchase of cost and other things on call only. They will help you in identifying. So this is another major area, okay, where our students can make use of it. So it is osmotically infused fruits or the fruit pieces or dried fruit pieces. So this is a unique technology. You know, papaya is available in plenty, especially when in season. It is sold at very less cost, and guava fruit is available in good quantity, and that is also available in plenty. So what you can do, you can go and approach them for this technology, and this can be, okay, a good potential product, okay, for your entrepreneurship. So this is about the few technologies. I have not covered all the institutions, because if you go and search it in the web, you will get the complete information on all these technologies available with them. Especially DFRL is there, CFTRI is. I have not touched CFTRI. I have not touched DFRL. I have not completely touched IASR. I just wanted to give you a hint that this kind of technology is available in the market for your entrepreneurship opportunity. So now let us look into the various schemes, right? That helps us in establishing our own startups. As you see, day by day, the government is announcing a new schemes for making you an entrepreneur. All the thing that the government wants you to become an entrepreneur, okay? Because providing employment opportunity will be very problematic for most of the governments, because of huge population, huge other conditions prevailing in our country. Instead of that, if we make you an entrepreneur, you will be able to give job at least for 10 to 15 or 3 to 4 people. So that is more than, so one giving job to 3-4 people will help in making our own country non-dependable on any other neighboring countries. So the main intention of this government is to make Atmanirbhar Bharat, so that more and more startups, okay, they want to see. So let us see which are the schemes. Startup India. So this is one scheme which attracts most of the students, of course the faculty as well. So Startup India is a flagship initiative of the Government of India intended to catalyze startup culture and build a strong and inclusive ecosystem for innovation and entrepreneurship in India, right? So you might have seen the regular ad. Every 6 months there will be an ad calling the application from the interested candidates. So Startup India will help you in getting financial assistance to start your entrepreneurship. Not only that, if your idea is good, they are going to incubate it. So they have incubation centers across the country, and one is that there in our Bangalore Innovation Center. And nowadays, government is giving a good sum to all higher education center, and they are making it mandatory to have an incubation center at each and every higher education center, wherein the locally available ideas or indigenous ideas developed by their own students can be nurtured in under this incubation center, so that after developing a proof of concept, right, you can submit this product into the Startup India scheme. So intention of making it mandatory for all higher education to have incubation center in their institute is that whatever the idea that the students generates or the students mind generate, right? So that can be nurtured in the locally available schemes, right, under incubation centers. And once the proof of concept is developed, so you will validate it, so that you can apply for establishing your own industry, right, startup. So this scheme is launched in 2016, and Startup India is a successful campaign, and its initiative has rolled out several programs with the objective of supporting entrepreneurs, building a robust startup ecosystem, and transforming India into a country of job creators rather than job seekers instead of job seekers. These programs are managed by dedicated Startup India team, okay, which reports to the development of industrial policy and promotion. So we are putting all our effort to bring 3 or 4 people from Startup India team, so that they will come and explain the various schemes and incentives and other facilities, okay, provided to the young entrepreneurs. In the last sessions, we had some 4 lectures on Startup India, exclusively from Bangalore Innovation Centers and National Research Development Council (NRDC) and Biotechnological Consortium of India (BCIL) people. This piece also we are planning to bring or connect you people to few people who will discuss exclusively on this Startup India scheme. So another is Atal Incubation Center scheme. So this, as a faculty members, you people can go back and you can start thinking of establishing your own incubation center at your own institution. Atal Innovation Mission has established with the intention of providing incubation centers at each and every higher education institute. Maybe with the implementation of NEP in the next forthcoming year, it becomes mandatory for all the higher education institutions to have an incubation center at their destination. So this is started by Niti Aayog in 2016. Okay, Atal Incubation Center is an innovative funding scheme to promote entrepreneurs by covering their capital operational cost. The selected startups will be granted funding of up to 10 crores over a period of 5 years. So each year you will be receiving 2 crores. Students, researchers have newly formed the organization from fields including transport, health, energy, education, agriculture, water, sanitation can apply. The Atal Incubation Centers can be set up either in public funded institution or private sector funded institution or in public-private partnership. The candidate will have to provide at least 10,000 square feet working area exclusively located in their institute, okay, for the infrastructure such as laboratory and workshop facilities, utilities, support service, pre-incubation services, networking, mentoring and other facilities within a period of 6 months from the date of release of funds for capital and operational expenditure. So for the scheme is available online, you can visit www.niti.gov.in, okay, or click here, you can click there to get the complete details about Atal Innovation Scheme. Then comes the Stand-Up India. Stand-Up India scheme facilitates bank loans between 10 lakhs to 1 crore to at least one scheduled caste and scheduled tribes borrower and at least one woman per bank branch for setting up a greenfield enterprise. Okay, this enterprise may be in manufacturing, service or trading sector. In case of a non-individual entrepreneurs, at least 51% of the shareholding and controlling stake should be held by either SC/ST or women entrepreneurs. So women entrepreneurship is gaining more and more prominence in Indian government, and this is one such scheme which is exclusively there for to promote women entrepreneurship. Eligibility, as you discussed, SC/ST are women entrepreneurs above 18 years of age. The loans under the scheme is available for the only greenfield products. Okay? Greenfield signifies, in this context, you can go to the website and you can download the complete domains in which they support you. The first time venture of the beneficiary in the manufacturing, service or trading sector. In case of non-individual enterprise, as we discussed, 51% should be a stakeholder, either SC/ST individual or for a woman entrepreneur. Borrower should not be in default to any bank or financial institution. So that you should make sure. So before applying it, make clear that you don't have any pending schemes or pending you are not availed any schemes or loans from bank or any other financial sector. Then revamped scheme for fund for regeneration of traditional industries is called SFRUT. So in case if you are in touch with any NGOs, okay, who are in promoting the traditional knowledge or who are supporting the traditional technologies, so you can join hands with them and you can promote the entrepreneurship opportunity. So this is launched in 2005 and it is headed by Khadi and Village Industry Commission. Okay. Non-government organization, NGOs, institution of the central and state governments and semi-government institution, field functionaries of state and central government, Panchayat Raj institution, any other private sector by forming clusters specific to SPVs, corporates and corporate social responsibility foundations such as Infosys Foundation and other, with experience to undertake cluster development are eligible to apply under this scheme. So before planning for this scheme, you should establish a good contact with a NGO which is recognized and registered under Government of India and who are there in the field for several years and who has a good rapport or the track record. So once that is done, then you can approach some companies who generally take up CSR related activity, corporate social responsibility activity. You can tie up with them. Then you can go and approach the local regulatory, local leaders like Panchayat or any other leaders, so that a cluster has to be established between the NGOs and the rural Panchayat and the company who runs a CSR, right, and your own institution. So once that cluster is established, then you can start or you can initiate some kind of activities like recording the technologies and bringing up the technology, providing scientific validation for the technology. In case if they are making any herbal preparation, you can provide scientific validation. In case if they are manufacturing any devices, you can automate it, or you can provide, you can give fine tuning to the instrument so that it becomes more handy, more approachable, or more appreciable. By putting your knowledge into that traditional system, you can apply for this scheme. So the objective of this scheme is launched by the Indian government is to organize traditional industries and artisan into clusters to make them competitive and provide support for their long-term sustainability. At the same time, it also aims to enhance the marketability of the product of such clusters, build up innovative and traditional skills, okay, and more to gradually replicate similar models of cluster-based regenerative traditional industries, right? Then fiscal incentives, the financial assistance provided for any specific project shall be subjected to a maximum of 8 crores to support soft, hard, and thematic intervention. Following is the budget limit. Of course, you can go to this website and you can download the further details of a SFRUT program. Another important contribution that you can make to the institute by opting this scheme is that it will be very much essential to clear your NAAC and other accreditation programs, because this association of yourself, okay, with such clusters or identifying your institution under such clusters will bring high value to the institution and institutional rapport, because everywhere your institution name will reflect, and whatever the activity is conducted under this scheme will give a good rapport for the institute. Okay. Then venture capital, as we were discussing, in case if you have a solid idea, so in most of the time we will be finding it difficult to provide financial support for this. So for that, to overcome that from that problem, the venture capital assistance scheme is established. So Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare has introduced this scheme for exclusively for agri-based business or business opportunities. Venture capital assistance is financial support in the form of an interest-free loan provided by FASC to qualifying projects to meet shortfall in the capital requirement for implementation of the project. So benefit include helps in assisting agri entrepreneurs to make investment in setting up agribusiness projects through financial participation. Provides financial support for preparation of bankable detailed project reports through project development facilities. And eligibility criteria include it is for the farmers, producer groups, partnership, or proprietary firms, self-help group, companies, and agripreneurs. Then agriculture graduates individually are in groups for setting up agribusiness projects. So, in case if you can provide any technology assistance for agri sector, if you can provide any value addition for the processing sector, or if you can provide any value addition to the finished agriculture products, or if you can automate the agriculture process, or if you can develop some kind of automation in the form of artificial intelligence and machine learning, in case if you can bring that into the agriculture sector, so you will be appreciated like anything, and it will benefit farmers also. So you can have like a cluster again. You can be a inventor in it, and you can take the help of all the cluster, and you can make use of this scheme. PRISM is another scheme launched by our MSME sector, promoting innovations in individual startups and micro and small medium entrepreneurs. These schemes aim to support individual innovators, which will enable to achieve the agenda of inclusive development. One of the thrust areas of the 12th plan, 5-year plan is, it would be all, it is extended, it is extended up to 2028. It would also provide support to institution or organization set up as an autonomous organization under a specific statute or as a society registered under the Societies Registration Act 1860 or Indian Trust Act 1882, leading to development of state-of-art new technology solution aimed at helping MSME clusters. So if you have good infrastructure, if you have good manpower who can guide the MSMEs, who can provide or who can mentor the MSMEs, or who can provide solution to the MSMEs, or who can transfer technology to the MSMEs, so you can apply under this PRISM scheme, so that your institution will get recognized as a mentoring unit for MSME. So now, high risk, high reward research grant scheme. In case if you have any thought in your mind, which you feel will bring a big change in the system, then you are eligible under this high risk, high reward research scheme. So high risk and high reward research is a scheme supporting and inviting new proposals and ideas expected to have a paradigm shifting influence on the science and technology. Okay. The objective of this scheme is for funding high risk, high rewards research aims at supporting proposals that are conceptually new and risky, and if successful, expected to have a paradigm shifting influence on the science and technology. This may be in terms of formulating a new hypothesis or scientific breakthroughs which aid in emergence of a new technology. So it should be very, very high technology oriented thing. So that nature of proposals to be supported, the scheme is aimed at supporting proposals that are new, challenge existing hypotheses, and provide out-of-box thinking on important problems. It should contain significant risk element, but promise of high reward if the difficulties could be circumvented. It is expected that the success of such proposal will have far-reaching implications in science and technology. Outcome could be a new and significant theoretical or experimental advance, formulation of new hypotheses or breakthrough science which will lead to new technologies. Proposal that address scientific issues which will result in incremental knowledge will not be supported. Okay, it should be completely breakthrough research. Ideally, the proposal must contain bold research ideas which will have wide-ranging impact and potential for new scientific and technological innovations. So, if in any of your students or any of your faculties are having a breakthrough idea in your mind, which you feel is very risky to take it up, and in case if it is solved or if it is achieved, it is going to bring a rapid change in science and technology, then you can go and approach high risk, high reward research scheme, which is launched in BSc. You can apply for it. Then we have a dairy entrepreneurship development scheme, okay, which is a NABARD scheme. Again, in case if you can bring some value addition into the dairy product, if you can provide some technology into the dairy product, if you can develop any value addition to the byproduct of the dairy industry, or if you can establish, or if you can develop a new product which is dairy based commodities, so you are welcome to submit your proposal under this scheme. So objective is to promote setting up of a modern dairy farms for production of clean milk. They encourage calf raising and other kind of this thing. The main focus as a faculty is to develop a value-added product to the dairy product. If you have any such idea, directly you can go and approach NABARD for financial assistance under this scheme. Okay. So now is the extramural research funding opportunity. So this extramural research funding opportunities are available almost with all funding bodies across the government of India, right? Because each and every funding agency like CSIR, or it may be a CMAP, or it may be ICR, or it may be DRDO, or it may be DST, or it may be SR. Each and every funding agency will have their own trust areas. Trust areas are devised are selected based on the suggestion from the expert committees. So this expert committees will make a survey on the demand of the market, and they will develop some guidelines. And of course, during the development of these guidelines, the interest of that council is kept at more priority. Okay. Say for example, any wing under DRDO mainly aims at providing technology to the defense people. So, what is that actually the defense people of India is needed will be converted into a trust area, right? So, similarly ISRO, what is that Indian Space Research Organization is looking for? So, those points will be cumulatively put under trust area. The Department of Environmental Science, so DME, this will be again exclusively on the importance, demand that the council will make. So apart from that, in case if you feel your thoughts are not directly fitting into the trust areas of the individual funding agency, and still you want to seek their funding assistance, then you can apply it under extramural research funding. So this need not to be one among the trust areas of the defined bodies. So extramural research funding schemes are served to academic institutions, research laboratories, and other R&D organizations to carry out basic research in all frontier areas of science and technology. Because in most of the funding agencies now, they don't support the blunt-end research. In the sense, they don't help you in establishing the mechanism of action of a particular drug, or they don't help you in establishing conducting a kind of survey report to the on any particular domain. So under such condition, if you feel your research has got a good impact, but still it is not fitting into the trust areas of the council, then you can directly submit them. And nowadays it is almost online and with a short proposal. You have to concentrate more on what is that you are looking for, and what is the outcome that you are expecting, and what is the value addition that you are going to give, and what is the product that you are going to give, and what is the innovation that is that you are describing, and how it is going to make impact on the society, okay, and who are the end user of your technology. So if you have these lines are precisely written content in this line, so you can submit to the funding agency. They will go through this and then they will call for, in case if they feel it is fundable, then they will call for the detailed procedure, detailed proposal, and that you can follow the complete scheme of proposal format of the funding agency, and accordingly you can fill, right? So objective is the scheme is to provide core research support to active researchers to undertake research and development in frontier areas of science and engineering. So NewGen IEDC is another scheme launched in 2017 by Department of Science and Technology. So New Generation Innovation and Entrepreneurship Development Center, the program is implemented by Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, okay, and it promotes knowledge-based and technology-driven startups, right, through mentorship, guidance, and support. If you have a good idea, they are going to mentor you, they are going to guide you how to develop it into a product, and of course, financial and marketable assistance. So the NewGen IEDCs are established in academic institutions where students can work on innovative projects over a period of 5 years. In its first year, the DST was successful in establishing 14 NewGen IEDCs. A one-time cost of rupees 25 lakh will be granted in phases. So the institution should be a university, deemed university, or a primary institute, college offering engineering, technology, science courses at degree level or above for at least 5 years. They must provide a space of about 5,000 square feet for housing the NewGen IEDC with basic amenities like electricity, water, and other commodities. So if your institute is interested in establishing the NewGen IEDC, you can go to the website and you can download the application. And if you have, for this, you should have a good number of ideas which needs to be supported. So MSME market development assistance. So once you have developed your small scale industry, then you can apply for this scheme. Startups, micro, small and medium entrepreneurs and retailers registered with the Directorate of Industries. District industry centers can avail this scheme to expand their business, okay, like Mudra Yojana. Companies registered with Director of Industries, Industry Center can get up to 100% reimbursement on air, fees and cost of placing these stalls in such fields. You can go and exhibit your product. So it is more for exhibiting your product and making and expanding your market potential. The scheme by Office of the Development Commissioner offers reimbursement of 70% of the one-time registration fee, airfare by economy class, and 50% space rental charges. Because each and every stall will have their own cost, and you can claim the reimbursement of the cost. So that once you develop your product in your MSME, you need to reach the customer. So this MSME market development assistance scheme will help you in reaching the customers, okay, by providing financial assistance for marketing your product. Then comes the Women Entrepreneurship Platform. See, it's launched by Niti Aayog again. This is a budding and existing women entrepreneur across India. Okay, it is divided into 3 aspects. Ichha Shakti, motivating women entrepreneurs to start their business. In case if any female faculty, if they have any novel idea, then they can venture into this scheme. Then Gyan Shakti provides knowledge and ecosystem, just like incubation. Then Karma Shakti provides hands-on support to entrepreneurs to set up or scale business. So these are the 3 schemes available under WEP. So you people can avail if you fit into the category. Women at the ideation stage and established startup can register for the scheme. Corporates, NGO organization, incubators can also apply, provided that they are supporting women in any forum. So you need not to be a woman entrepreneur, but in case if your organization or if your idea is supporting to the woman, then also you can apply for this. But you should have a good number of women in your team. So this also offers incubation and acceleration support to startup funded funds or co-funded by women. Then the scheme will include the benefits like free credit ratings, mentorship, funding support to women entrepreneurs, and apprenticeship and corporate partnership. So if you have any such ideas, you can make use of it. So self-employment lending scheme, credit line 2, microfinancing scheme. So in case if you have already established your small scale industry and if you're looking for any expansion of your business, there is an opportunity from MSME sector. So this is called Mudra Yojana. So you can avail this facility also. Then venture capital scheme for agribusiness development. Okay. As we discussed, started by Small Farmers Agribusiness Consortium. This scheme aims to promote agriculture development in the country by providing a market to producers and assisting farmers and agriculture graduates to enhance their participation. So here, as a biotechnologist, technicians, what you people can do, you can develop an app, okay, and that helps the farmers in knowing the market potential of their product that they are cultivating, and the technologies are advanced technologies available for their farming process, and the license are well qualified seeds are available with the vendors. And of course, you can you can develop an app which helps for customers to buy the product directly from the farmers, so that farmers can use this as a platform for selling their product directly to the customer, so that the farmers will get maximum benefit out of their product, and even they can have their own small scale industry which can prepare the value added product using their product. Say for example, when during some odd season, if they grow tomato, so it will be very difficult for them to sell it in the market to fetch the growing cost of it. So under such condition, the farmers will throw these tomatoes on the roads, and they'll throw them in the market because the cost is rate is so bad. Under such conditions, if you can provide technology to these farmers through this platform for the development of value-added post-harvest products, so it will be useful for them. So instead of throwing, in case if they don't get the expected rate in the market, so they can supply it to the small-scale industry who can prepare tomato ketchup. So this identifying this kind of small functionalities will definitely help the farmers in building their own career, and of course as an entrepreneurs for you people also. So with this, I will stop my presentation. Thank you for your patience hearing and for joining hands in this faculty development program. By attending this kind of programs and by motivating our students, let's make our country Atmanirbhar Bharat. Thank you very much for your patience hearing. If you have any doubts or clarification, I'll be available. You can chat, or you can unmute yourself and you can ask me.
Participants, if you have any queries, please unmute yourself and post questions in the chat box. We have Dr. Pratima Khandelwal sir, who says very informative inputs being shared by Professor B.K. Manjunath.
Thank you,
On
madam.
behalf of Oxford Engineering College, thank you, ma'am. And Dr. Raki Saraf also says thanks, very informative.
Thank you, ma'am.
Participants, if you want to approach Dr. Manjunath for any kind of help or anything, he is available at the department, and we have shared our link and his web address and email ID in the brochure and invitation that was being given. You can at any time contact him because the department is also involved in his beginning the consultancy services also. So those were the questions and compliments now.
Thank you for patient hearing, and I look forward for more interaction. The primary motto of this FDP is to bring some kind of awareness in the faculty members about the funding opportunities and bioinnovation, and we are trying to bring more and more good resource persons across the India, so that you will get maximum benefit out of it. So please interact with the resource persons and get maximum benefit of it, so that when you go back to the institution, you will become a resource person. Okay, hoping that. Thank you very much for your patience sharing. Please do cooperate with us for the completion of this phase 2. Thank you very much. Thank you, Anand.
Thank you, sir. That was very informative talk. To be very frank, sir was very reluctant to share his biodata on this platform right at the beginning. As the tradition goes, I should have actually officially and formally introduced him to this, but I, as a subordinate and his fellow colleague, like to say to all the participants that he's an accomplished researcher and a teacher with more than 24 years of research and teaching experience. And he has almost 2 crores of funded projects from VTU, NIF, NRP, PRMS, BIDAC, KCST, the list goes on. Sir, you will always remain our inspiration and motivation. With this, I extend my heartfelt gratitude for the wonderful talk. And as such, the more is said, it is less about you. As the tradition is, thank you very much for sharing your valuable information. I hope all the faculties here will utilize it and grow more in your profession as well as in your career. So thank you so much for those.
Thank you, madam. On behalf of department, I would like to say that we are open for collaboration. If you have any queries, you always write to us, or you can reach us through our mobile or through WhatsApp or through mail. And we'll be happy if you extend your collaborative hands with us, or developing the product or for writing the joint research proposals. We are open for that also. Any kind of multidisciplinary joint ventures, we are open. We have good infrastructure for carrying out research in biotechnology and other allied engineering sciences. Any kind of collaboration, we are happy. Thank you, Nanda.
Dear participants, I would like